What if I told you that getting rich has less to do with your salary and everything to do with how you spend? In this explainer, inspired by financial expert Sonu Sharma, we're going to break down 7 powerful money hacks that can literally transform your financial life.
Okay, let's kick things off with a pretty wild story. Picture this. J. Paul Getty, who was at the time the richest man on the planet, takes some guests out to dinner, but then he makes them wait outside for 15 whole minutes. Why? Just to avoid a timey cover charge that was about to expire at 10 p.m. His reason was simple. He refused to waste money, any money, for no good reason. And that, right there, is our core idea. Wealth is built on mindful spending.
Think about it like this. Your income is water, and your bank account is a bucket. Now, if that bucket has holes in it, does it really matter how much water you pour in? Nope, it's never going to get full. And those holes? Those are your spending habits. Earning more money won't make you rich if you're just going to leak it out faster. So, before you even think about earning more, you've got to plug the holes.
So let's get into our very first hack. And honestly, this one is a total game changer. It's a mental shift that will make you look at every single purchase differently. We're talking about learning to measure the cost of things, not in rupees, but in the one thing you can never, ever get back: your time.
And it's actually a super simple 3-step process. First, just figure out how many hours you work in a month. Let's just say it's 200 hours. Second, calculate your hourly wage. So if you make 50,000 rupees a month, that comes out to 250 an hour. And then the third step, the magic step, is to divide an item's price by that hourly wage. All of a sudden, that 5,000 rupees gadget, it's not just money anymore, it's 20 hours of your life.
And this simple bit of math forces you to ask a really powerful question, right? Is this new phone, this dinner out, this jacket, is it really worth the hours of my life I had to trade to get it? See, the decision isn't just about money anymore. It's about your life's energy. And framing it that way, it can stop those impulse buys right in their tracks. Okay, so that mindset is huge. But now let's apply it to where the biggest leaks in our bucket usually are. Those small, everyday shopping habits. Here are 5 super simple rules to help you take back control. Rule number 1, always, always make a list. It keeps you focused. 2, try to shop alone. Partners or kids can often lead to those unplanned buys. 3, set a time limit. The less you wander around, the less you'll buy. 4, and this is a big one, never, ever shop hungry. And finally, number 5, try shopping when your budget is a bit tight, not right after payday when you're feeling flush.
But listen, it's just as important to know where you should not be trying to save money. Skimping on your health, your education, or on good quality food, that's not saving. That's just setting yourself up for a much bigger bill down the road, whether it's in doctor's fees or missed opportunities. You have to see these things as investments, not expenses.
Okay, let's shift gears and talk about the really big stuff, the big ticket items. We're talking cars, we're talking debt. These are the decisions that can literally define your financial life for years. But don't worry, there are some simple, powerful rules to guide you.
So when it comes to buying a car, man, it is so easy to get swept up in the moment. That's where the 20-4-10 rule comes in. It's a fantastic little guideline to keep your feet on the ground and make sure you're buying a car you can actually afford, not one that's going to drive you straight into debt.
So here's how it breaks down. First, the 20 stands for a down payment of at least 20%. The 4 means you should finance the car for no more than 4 years. This helps you avoid getting crushed by interest. And the 10? That means your EMI, your monthly payments, should never be more than 10% of your take-home pay. Stick to that, and your car stays a tool, not a financial trap.
It's super important to understand that not all debt is bad. There's good debt and there's bad debt. Good debt helps you buy things that grow in value or make you money, like, say, a loan for a rental property. Bad debt? That's for stuff that loses value or just disappears, like a loan for a big vacation or the newest phone. The rich use good debt to get richer. It's the bad debt that really traps people.
All right, let's talk insurance. Protecting your family, it's non-negotiable, right? But so many people get it completely wrong. They end up paying way too much for policies that give them almost no real protection when they actually need it.
Okay, this is one of the biggest rules in personal finance, so listen up. Never mix insurance and investment. They are 2 different things. Term insurance is just pure protection. The premium is low and the coverage is high.
On the other hand, you have these money-back policies that try to do both, and they're terrible at both. The premiums are sky high and the returns are awful. The smart move is always to keep them separate. Buy cheap term insurance for protection and invest the money you save yourself.
So, the big question is, how much coverage do you actually need? Well, a really good, simple rule of thumb is to get a policy that's at least 10 times your annual income. That way, if the worst happens, you know your family has a solid financial cushion to rebuild their lives without having to panic about money.
Okay, we're at our final section now, and this one is all about tackling what is maybe the biggest obstacle to getting wealthy: our own psychology. That little voice in our head that tells us we need to impress other people.
So, let's talk about the incredible power of compounding. And let's use a simple example. What if you could quit just one bad habit that costs you, say, 100 rupees a day? Maybe it's smoking, maybe it's something else. It sounds pretty small, right? Well, the result is absolutely mind-blowing.
Yeah, you're seeing that number right. Over 2 crore rupees. That's what could be yours in 40 years just by investing that 100 rupees you would have spent on a bad habit. If you get a pretty normal 10% annual return, the results are just staggering. This isn't some kind of magic trick. It's just math. Let's actually look at how that happens. After year 1, it's a nice little chunk of change, sure, but just watch. By year 10, you're at over 6 lakhs. By year 25, it's 40 lakhs. But it's in those final years that the growth just becomes explosive. That is the incredible power of compound interest working for you instead of against you.
And this quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? The biggest financial trap out there is the lifestyle trap. This constant pressure to upgrade your phone, your car, your house, just to keep up with everyone else. It's a game you literally can't win. The truly wealthy people, they don't need to prove it to anyone. They're too busy building their assets, not their image.
Okay, here's one last really important hack. If you ever get a big chunk of money all at once, like a bonus or an inheritance, the absolute best thing you can do is nothing. Seriously, park that money in a fixed deposit for 3 or 4 months. Let all that excitement and emotion die down. This cooling off period lets you make smart, long-term decisions, not emotional, short-term mistakes. So in the end, it really all boils down to this one question. You know, the ideas we've talked about are simple, but that doesn't mean they're easy. They take discipline, they take a real shift in how you think. But taking control of your spending, that is the first, most crucial step to building a life of financial freedom. The choice really is yours.